So my video today is about consistency. Consistency. And the reason why I'm talking about consistency today is because when it comes to doing anything in life that's going to be productive, that's going to be something that you want to basically get the same result or similar results all the time, you're going to have to be consistent. I mean good results anyway. In order for you to get results for losing weight, and in order for you to keep the results of losing weight, is you got to be consistent with how you're eating, how you're working out, etc., right? And it's the same thing with your job. You have to be consistent with being on time, performing, doing what you have to do to keep your job, to make money, to consistently keep making money, right? And it's the same thing with mental health. Anything that you have to do for mental health, you have to do it consistently for you to be able to keep it up. Because the moment you stop with all these things, the moment you stop taking care of your car, the moment you stop eating right and stop working out, right? The moment you start going to work on time and going early, the moment you stop doing your job, what happens? You get fired from your job. You start to put on back weight. There's a lot of things that, like your car, that you don't take care of, start to act up, start to break down, start to be in the shop all the time. Why? Because you wasn't consistently taking care of it. And that's the thing, that this is why consistency is so important, because it doesn't matter what you're doing in life. If you're not consistent with it, you're not going to get good results. Even with people that go to church. You can go to church once a week and that's okay. That's cool. But it's not suffice. It's not enough. You got to be consistent. And consistency doesn't mean you only have to do like praise God when you're going to church. You can do stuff outside of church. You could do things at home, from read the Bible. You could study the Bible. You can even meditate on some of the scriptures and stuff like that. You can talk to others that's into it too. And these are things that motivate you to be consistent, to keep going, keep doing what you're doing. Because the moment you stop is the moment you head right back to square one. And if anybody that's in here that works out, right? Tell me if this isn't true. You could be working out consistently for 4 or 5 months straight. Push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, whatever you're doing to get yourself right. And you get sick or you get lazy and you go like a week or 2 weeks without working out. Subconsciously, you know you're not working out, right? You go a week or 2 weeks without working out, and what happens? The moment you get back into it and start to work out, what happens? The moment you start doing any kind of push-up, pull-ups, any kind of activities, your heart starts to race a little bit faster. You realize you're a little bit more tense. You realize that you can't do as much as you did before. And it's all because you wasn't consistent. And in your mind is like, yo, I only went like a week without working out. Why is it so bad? Right? Why is it so bad? But it's just to teach you that all of it is all about memory and consistency, right? It's all about memory and consistency. And this is what we have to start doing if we want results and to keep the results, whatever we're doing with life. We have to be consistent. Even people that play video games, they can tell you, this is all muscle memory, right? Muscle memory. But the moment you stop moving those fingers and stop playing the game consistency all the time, from the building to shooting, whatever you're playing, right? The moment you stop playing it all the time, when you go back to play again, if you could have did, say you was playing a car game, and you could have did a lap time of 1 minute and 3 seconds on this specific map, because you didn't play for a couple of days, it might be the reason why you go back and you be like, yo, why my time went up to 1 minute and 20 seconds? And you can't get it back to 1 minute and 3 seconds. Like, how do I get it back to there? Because you was consistent, and that's why you was able to even get it to 103. You get what I'm saying? And that's the thing in life. You have to learn that you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent with whatever you're doing. You got to have a purpose. You got to stick to your purpose. You got to be consistent with your schedules. And I'm talking to you and I'm telling you that these are things I'm trying to work on myself right now. So I don't want you to think that I have it all figured out and I'm like perfect and everything. No. One, there is no perfect. Two, there's always people working on something, right? And this is one of the things I'm working on a schedule. It's very hard to have a set schedule of how you want things to work out, but you can have some consistency across the board in some ways, right? Because if you know your kids go to school by a certain time, you know that you can work out by this, between this time and this time you can work out, right? Between this time and this time you can read a book. Between this time and this time, you can do something that's pertaining towards your purpose or your side job or whatever, your side hustle or whatever you're doing, right? And even if it's for gaming a little bit, you can set a little time apart just for your little gaming time, because at the end of the day, it's good to have that little reset for yourself, right? And even the people that like to go to the mall, you got to make time for yourself. If that's something that you really have a fervor for, you have a passion for that, then you set a little time to go to the mall to get a reset. But we all have to start organizing our time, because time is like the most important thing. And I always thought it was money, but it's actually time. It's time, because money, you can get that back. So you could lose $100 today, you can get it back like this, right? Depending on what you do, you can get it right back. But the time that you lose, you cannot get that back. Do you get what I'm saying? And the more time you sit there and not do what you're supposed to do, might be the reason why you never reach where you want to reach. So that's all I wanted to talk about today, is consistency, being consistent, and just understand that you're not the only one in this boat. We're all in this boat, trying to be consistent with something. So don't watch anybody else and get jealous of them, because you see that they're consistent in something that you care about. So they might be consistent with paying their bills, might be consistent with reaching work on time, right? They might be consistent with other stuff. You can say whatever you want, right? They're consistent with a lot of stuff that you're looking at them like, yo, I want to be that. Good. You could look at them, use them as motivation. You could pick their brain, ask them questions, and you can sit there and try to mimic some of the stuff that they're doing, right? But don't feel bad and say, oh my God, how can they do it and I can't do it? No. They can. If they're doing it, you can do it too, right? It just takes some knowledge. A lot of times we're ignorant to what's the first step. What should we do? What can we do? What can we try to try making the progress towards going towards that? But it's so funny that you don't understand that you're looking at this person saying, yo, I wish I had the consistency of that person. And that person is looking at you saying, yo, I wish I had the consistency of you. Because you might be looking at them about their bills and organized and all these things that they got going on, right? They're amazing. And then they might be looking at you like, yo, every time they see you, you're going to the gym, you're working out, you're eating right. So they're looking at you like, oh my God, I wish I was like you, because that's what I need to be consistent with. I'm consistent with the money aspect. But when it comes to the physical, mental part, I'm not doing that. So the work that you're doing is actually consistent, is great work that you're doing. And the work that I'm doing for finances is actually great, right? But then you guys pick each other's brain and you guys can put it together, So don't be jealous of anybody else with their consistency and what they're doing. Just admire them, learn from them, talk to them. Don't be scared to talk to them. Ask them questions. Ask them to help you, and ask them to pull you up a template, something to do that you can actually apply to your life and try for yourself. Because at the end of the day, one of the worst things one of the things you don't want to do is be one of those people that act like you know it all, or act like you're better than people, or act like you can't ask anybody for help. You got to be able to ask for help. And that's how you actually be able to get better in life, is asking for help, because we're not all good at everything, but we're all good at something. Hear that key word, right? We're not all good at everything, right? We're not all good at everything, but we are all good at something. There's something that you're good at that you're better than another person. And another person has something that they're great at that they're better than you. And that's just called life. All right? So I need you guys to be consistent. I need to be consistent. You need to be consistent. We need to convince others to be consistent. And I'm not talking about consistency on eating burgers and drinking beer. Consistency on taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. Consistency with having good friends around you. Consistency with watching positive videos. Consistency with reading books. Consistency with staying away from negativity. Consistency with controlling your emotions. Controlling your emotions. Very, very powerful. All right. Thank you guys for everything. I know I'll be always with these late videos and these times just go past and it's like, oh my God, now you want to drop another video. But hey, this video, as you can see, is a different background. I didn't want to make any excuses. I just needed to get this video out. So the word today is what? Thank you. All right. You already know what it is. Peace.